Lieutenant Christopher Pachik, who is the officer at the Salvation Army of Waldorf. And many of us don't know that this social service is available to the community, and they have so many programs that the community can take advantage of, and they want you to do that. So jump into the video with me. Let's talk to Lieutenant Chris and see what they offer. But be sure to also check out his powerful testimony. The link to his video is in the description. So thanks for joining me. Hey!
Hey, it's nice to meet you.
Well, welcome, Lieutenant. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, I am excited for everyone in Southern Maryland and those outside of it to know what the Salvation Army is about, because we're familiar with the thrift store that's in Waldorf, but not a lot of people are familiar with the outpost that's here. So we get to dive into that today.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I didn't know it was a church either until about 8 years ago. So.
Way to give it away.
Right.
No. So everyone, this is Lieutenant Chris Pachik at the Salvation Army located in Waldorf, Maryland. So first question would be, who is the Salvation Army and what are its roots?
Ooh. Okay, so the Salvation Army is a holiness movement. It's a part of the Universal Evangelical Church. Non-denominational, but it was founded by William Booth, who was a Methodist preacher in London, England, East London, in the 1800s. And what happened was he found two drunk guys behind the church, and he went out there and he got them saved, and he brought them inside, right? Because that's what you do. You get them saved, you bring them into church. And as he brought these two guys inside, one of the leaders in his church said that you can't bring them in here.
Oh, okay.
And he said, well, why not? They just got saved. They need church. And he said, well, you know, they smell. They're not supposed to be here. Mm-hmm. And Booth said something along the lines of, like, aren't these the people we're supposed to go after? Like, the least and the lost? Those are his terms.
Hello.
And he said, okay, well, then I'll go start my own movement. Oh. So he left there, and he started preaching behind alleyways and into brothels and bars and saloons and getting people saved, and then just sending them out, like bringing them, all right, let's go, let's follow the drum, let's keep going. And he started the Christian mission, which eventually became the Salvation Army. Wow. And it was derived from like a men's social services club of, you know, the least and the lost. And he thought that once these people got radically saved and changed, that they would set the world on fire for Jesus. And they did. Yeah. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers got saved and started planning their own Salvation Armies all over England, and then brought it over to this country. And
what year was this?
So it was 1865. It was founded in England. Wow. In the early 1900s, they came to America and just spread out. And they were sending like 16-year-old girls out to start churches, and young men and young women. And they just were saying, hey, go, here's a flag, go plant it. And tell people about Jesus. And then, you know, through that, you got the social services where we help with rental assistance and food pantry and homeless, you know, outreach and all that.
Well, save that, because
sure.
Going to come back
yeah,
to
yeah.
that.
So that's how the roots started, and it was mostly Booth just trying to go after those that the church exiled. Wow. He wanted to start a church full of exiles.
What an amazing start! What a powerful start too. Yeah, I remember when you were teaching me about these things, because I helped Lieutenant with the bell ringing that they do at Christmas. Yeah. But teaching,
she killed it too, by the way.
Thank you. But you know, learning all of this, I got on fire just reading all about this. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely.
He was an amazing man. William and Catherine Booth. I mean, any church you go into knows the Booths. Yeah. I went to a church in Virginia not too long ago, and the guy said, "Oh, let me tell you my favorite Booth story." It was just a non-denominational church. They were trailblazers.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an awesome thing, and the Salvation Army does so much. So
amen.
Yeah, its roots are amazing and important. So you kind of touched on it. It started in England, but where is the Salvation Army now? Where is it located?
So 128 different countries worldwide, and there's a Salvation Army in every zip code in America, which I think is pretty neat. Yeah. So you're never 30 miles from a Salvation Army, or 60. I don't remember the exact approximation, but it's pretty neat that anywhere you go, especially as a Salvation Army officer, and I visited Salvation Armies all over the country, like your family. Like, oh, I'm the Salvation Army here in Waldorf. They're like, oh, well, come on in, fam. Yeah, it's a like brother and sisterhood. It's like we have our own little things, like the flag and things that we do that we know, the uniform, and wherever we go in the uniform, people are like, that's the Salvation Army. Yeah. And they feel like, oh, I know that. I know them. Yeah. I love them. I'm partial, but to me, it's the best organization in the world. Because there's everything we do for our community goes off of strictly donation only, and they don't pay. The community pays for nothing. So it's all like being the hands and feet in Jesus for free for everybody who needs it.
Yeah. Well, with that said, that was one of my next questions. We said we were going to dive into what the Outpost here in Waldorf has to offer. So located right off of Post Office Drive is
Post Office Road and Doolittle. Post Office Road and Doolittle Drive.
Doolittle. Right in front of Angel Watch is the Outpost for Salvation Army, where they have their social services. So what can you tell us about the things that you guys offer there?
Sure. Yeah, I have an amazing director, Maria Bryan, who Amanda knows very well. And she's the best I've ever seen at this. She's so good. So like to be honest with you, like they call me boss, but like I don't, like she's in charge. She runs the show over there. And we help with rental assistance. We help with electric bill, water bill, anything, oil, propane, anything to keep your place warm during the wintertime and cool in the summertime. We have a really big, beautiful food pantry that you can come, and we give meat to people. It's not just canned food. It's meals for families. With casework, there's, Maria is also very well trained in helping people to end generational poverty in families. We have a Pathway of Hope program where we take a few specific families and just pour into them like serious case management to try to break that generational curse and just to get that part of that family started. All of it's funded by the community for the community. So there's a lot. You just would need to call and talk to Maria because I'm probably leaving some stuff out. Forgive me.
There is a lot.
But yeah, so Amanda backed me up on this, and she's worked with Maria too. So she is a rock star. So if you call the number and speak to her, if you need help with anything, if we can't help you, she'll give you 15 resources.
Yeah.
You won't leave here without help. I always tell people that no matter what, if you show up to the office, you're leaving with at least a bottle of water. Yeah. You're not going to leave empty.
Absolutely, her heart is totally 200% into
She's
it.
fantastic, yeah.
So, okay, we have the Outpost here with social services, but what else do we have here?
Oh, yeah, so we have the church side, the ministry. The cool thing about this Outpost is that they actually handed me a flag, like Booth did to all those people back in the day, to start the work here in Waldorf from my commissioning from seminary. It was my first ever, I walked across the stage and they just handed me this flag in the back and nothing else. And they said, go start the work. And I was like, cool, but like, what do I, there's no building, no car, no house, so what do I, you go find it, go make friends. So, so we're in year 4 now, and we have a beautiful church and a beautiful building, and many people that come and work, Amanda being one of them during the week, and a nice, like, beautiful soldiery and congregation on Sundays, and a whole different crew that comes during the week on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So the programs here, for men and women, there's Bible study, there's discipleship groups, there's so much that goes on in this building. Last Friday, a few guys just came in and watched a movie and ate pizza and talked about Jesus. So it's just it's a place to get to know God. It's a place to meet God for the first time, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's plenty of people here that are spiritual giants that can walk alongside you. Even if it's not me, there are people that have been walking with Jesus a long time here that just love people. And you feel the love when you walk in here. I tell people, I said this on Sunday in my sermon. I said, every Monday morning I come in here, there's still a residue of the Holy Spirit. Like I walk in and I'm like, ooh. Like there's, like you feel it. Like you feel it every time you walk in here. It's just, it's not like we're bringing the Spirit here. It's already here working. We're just joining in what the Spirit's already doing here. Absolutely. And I love that I get to do this for a living. Like, this is my job.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's so cool. So I'm going to do a little shout out here, but during Christmas, when you guys see the bell ringers at the grocery stores and some other places, they're raising money for these programs. They're raising money for this church. So every dollar that goes into those buckets is given right back to the community. So I just want to throw that out there for anybody who might not know what those buckets are for.
Or wants a job this Christmas.
Or wants a job this Christmas.
Contact me. Yeah, we're hiring.
Okay, good segue.
Yeah.
So my next question was, if someone's in need
Yeah.
of some of these services, how can they reach you?
Yeah, so the office phone, and you'll get Maria most of the time, or maybe Amber or Cynthia, one of our volunteers. It's 301-638-9532, and that rings right here. And leave a message if nobody picks up. We always check them. And then just say what you need, say what you're looking for. We're also hiring too. So if you're looking for a job, then say, hey, I'm also looking for a job. I need help here. So we're getting into that busy season where you did this. So like we hire 50 to 60 bell ringers. You know, they don't all last, but we have the ability to hire anybody who wants a job for the Christmas season. And like it's 8 weeks, and you ring a bell, and you can get overtime. You can get a lot of. You can pay for your entire family's Christmas just on working as a bell ringer.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, just call that number that I just. We'll put it in the comments.
At the end of this video will be all the contact information. So, is it the same number for someone who might want to volunteer or donate?
Yeah, same number. And what you'll do is whoever answers the phone, tell them, and then they'll be able to contact me if it's like a donation. If you want to be a donor, I'd like to have those face to face.
Okay.
Otherwise, Maria is my buffer, so she can handle all the other, inquiries.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to donate, yes, I'll be your guy. If you're looking for a job, I'll also be your guy to, to interview you and talk to you. But if you need help, you can talk to me. But Maria is going to be the one to help you. So it would just be like up, down to go back down again.
Yeah.
So yeah, Maria will be your person, or even Amber or Cynthia, whoever answers the phone. But yeah, they can always contact me. But yeah, to donate, listen. Everything that we get here, we are not federally funded. So we get everybody that donates, mostly during Christmas. The money stays here. 82 cents to every dollar goes back into your community. So the other 18 cents is just for administration costs. That's it. I don't know any other organization in the world that does that much. That funnels that much back into the community. So the free services for you guys, for the community, is done through donors, through a beautiful donation system where like you're just blindly walking in to get bread and putting $1 in there. With the way we figured out, $1 can feed a family of 3 with the way we have our food process laid out. So yeah, don't pass those buckets without, thinking about us and know that even if you can't help with your hands, you can help with your talent, your time, or your treasure. Yeah. We need it. And the community needs it, and we're here for the community. So
yes, absolutely. Well, thank you for that. And I would like to give one more shout out, and that is to you.
Oh, okay.
Because most people don't know until they step in here that Lieutenant Chris here actually came from the one in, St. Petersburg. Yeah, I was going to say that, St. Petersburg. And he has an amazing story of how he got started with the Salvation Army. We actually have this similarity that we used to be drug addicts.
That's right.
As we were just saying before, ripping and running the streets like crazy. And then both of us got radically saved. So in addition to this video, I'm also going to put a link to his testimonial video, so that if anybody wants to know your story personally, they'll be able to see that, because it's an absolutely amazing story.
Thank you. Yeah, glory to God. Yeah, I always tell people that the Salvation Army was the last house on the block. Like I tried everything, and they were the last ones to take me in. And the rehab. And if you need, I'll put that down there too. We have free rehabs. If you call me, text me, message us, we can get you in for for free.
The thrift store doesn't.
Yeah, that's the money goes to help the men. Yeah.
Most people don't know that the thrift store right over here in Waldorf, that money goes to rehabs. So.
Every dollar goes to help. There's 120 men trying to get their lives changed, to get off of drugs and alcohol. And that money, so if you buy a $4 shirt, that money goes right back to help the men with food and lodging and clothing and all that stuff. I was a recipient of that. I was an adult rehabilitation center beneficiary of
Changes
that.
lives.
It does. Yeah. So if you know anybody, any men or women that are struggling with addiction, first off, Amanda and I are always a resource.
Absolutely.
But I took a guy there not long. We know it's what we do in this community. If you need help, we'll drive you. Anybody that especially knows Amanda and I personally, we don't reject anybody looking for help, looking for Jesus and looking for help. So we will, it's free, no insurance needed. Everything is, you get right in. There's no waiting list. So just contact us. And if you're looking for a change, or if you know somebody who's looking for a change.
Yeah, that's important.
And it saves lives, clearly. I'm sitting here. with this uniform on. So it works.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for doing an interview and sharing with the community and the larger community about what the Salvation Army is all
Happy
about.
to do it.
So,
Love you, sis. I'm okay with that.
thanks.